What's up guys, John here and welcome to Baltimore Retro Gaming. And today I'm going to bring to you guys the best shooter to ever come out on the Sega Genesis. Well, it's the best shooter to ever come out on the Mega Drive because we never got it over here in the US. It only came out in Japan. And that game is Gley Lancer, or Advanced Buster Hog Gley Lancer. I believe that's the technical name for the game. So before I even get started, I do want to say this is a repro. This is not an original. I only paid $17 for this, but it came with a manual, came with the game. They actually made the cartridge, US style cartridge, so you don't need to, do any kind of region unlocking on your Sega Genesis. But I do want to show you guys this though. I'm going to show you guys how to region mod your Genesis. It's probably the easiest thing to do. So this is the actual PAL copy of, this is Stormlord. And it's complete. It's actually in really nice shape. But this is what a PAL game looks like. It doesn't look like a regular Sega Genesis cartridge. So normally this would not fit in a US Sega Genesis. So for those of you that don't know, this is all you need to region mod your Sega Genesis. All you have to do is put your cartridge on here like so, pop it into your Genesis, and you're good to go. Because of the way these rounded edges are, it's not made to fit. The pin set is the same, but it's not made to fit inside of a Sega Genesis. So that's all you need. PAL or Japanese game, your Game Genie, you're good to go. Anyways, guys, Gley Lancer, let's get into it. Okay guys, so before you start the game, the first set of options that you're going to see, other than like difficulty and stuff like that, is you're going to see an option to customize your power-ups. And what I mean by that is you have these two, they're like guns above and below your ship, and you can customize them to shoot forward, to shoot backward. Like if you press forward, you can set it to shoot in reverse, so it'll shoot backward. If you press forward, it can shoot forward. You can set it for regular. Or what I prefer is you can set it for a search shot, and pretty much what that means is those extra cannons that you get, you can set those things to kind of act as like a heat-sinking missile, or something like that, like a heat-sinking gun. And I prefer that because when there's so many things going on the screen, it kind of sucks to maneuver the ship to shoot everything. Another thing that I noticed when I first started the game, without pressing start, if I just put the cartridge in and let the game play through, is there's a pretty lengthy, it's like an anime cutscene, and it's pretty long. And for a game this old, this came out in the early 90s, you don't really see cutscenes in games like this, especially shooters. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It would be really cool if somebody could translate that cutscene so I could read it, because I definitely can't read Japanese, but I like looking at the cutscene and the pictures and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Now, a little bit of history on Gley Lancer, and this is according to Wikipedia. Gley Lancer, or also known as Advanced Buster Hog Gley Lancer, came out in 1992 and is a scrolling shooter video game developed and published by Messiah for the Sega Mega Drive. The game was released exclusively in Japan on July 16th of 92 and was re-released on the Wii Virtual Console in Japan on February 26th of 2008, and in Europe on May 16th of 2008, and in North America on July 21st of 2008. Now it says here, before the Virtual Console released, an unofficial fan-made English patch was made for the game, and I was just talking about that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to find that. Hopefully somebody was able to pull and extract that information and put it onto a cartridge, because I would love an English translated patch of this game. That's something I'm going to look for. Now, as far as the weapons that you get when you're playing the game, here's the names of all the different kinds of shots that you get. You got the twin shot, which fires a rapid stream of double blue energy pulses. You have lasers, which obviously they're lasers that shoot out, which they're actually really powerful, but I don't like the way they look as much as some of the other stuff. You got a five-way shot that pretty much covers the whole screen. You got burner shots, which are effective, but they don't really kind of extend that far out, so you kind of got to be mindful when you're using the burner. You got a spread bomb, another one. I don't really prefer that because it's just, I feel like it shoots kind of slow. You have your saber, which is kind of similar to the burner shot. It doesn't really extend that far out. And then you have your bound shot, which is another one of my favorites because it fires, it's like a green energy pulse. It fires it pretty far. I actually prefer that one. I'd say of all the shots that you get, I'd say the bound shot and the twin shot are probably my favorites. Now, as far as you use these different power-ups or these different shots, however you want to call them, like I was saying in the beginning of the game, you get to customize that. And I mean, me personally, I like the search shot, but the different options that you have are normal, which pretty much if you press forward, your shot's going to go forward. If you press backward, it's going to go backward. You have reverse, which is the exact opposite. If you press forward, it's going to go backward, and if you press backward, it's going to go forward. So pretty much any direction that you press on the D-pad, it's going to go the opposite of that direction. And obviously search, it's self-explanatory. It's my favorite. It's heat sinking shot. You have multi, which it pretty much, it says each gunner is restricted to either the top or the bottom of a 180-degree arc of the ship. Then you have a multi-arc, then you have a shadow, and then you have a roll shot. Which, I mean, the last three options are kind of, I don't believe anybody ever uses those. They're kind of, I believe those are like a way to challenge yourself. If you've played the game, beat the game, and you want like a new set of options for the game, you know, you have those different ways to configure your shot to either make the game easier or more challenging. Okay guys, so let's talk about the music in Gley Lancer. I'm not sure who composed this music. I'm sure if I did a little bit more research, I could find that out, but my God. I would have to say, of all the different video games out there that I've played, you know, obviously I do believe that my favorite game soundtrack of all time would probably be Striker's 1945, if you can tell if you watch my videos. But my God, you know, Gley Lancer has some of the best video game music I have ever heard. Easily one of my top 5 gaming soundtracks of all time. You know, there's not one level that I played where I didn't like the music. You know, everything gets me pumped up. You know, every bit of music that I hear in the game, it keeps me playing the game, and it keeps me pushing forward, and it keeps me so hyped up, you know, especially during boss fights. And, you know, another thing that I find absolutely awesome about this game is the graphics. And, you know, the main thing is the way that they use the parallax scrolling in this game. And pretty much what that is, if you don't know, it's pretty much that things in front of you are going to move at a different speed than the things behind you. So it kind of gives like a semi-appearance of 3D, kind of in a primitive way. But that's okay because I really love 2D graphics and 2D sprites, and the way that this game utilized that is excellent. They utilized it very well. And, you know, for the time period that this game came out, what, 25, 30 years ago, whatever, I mean, I believe it was probably really tricky to program that parallax scrolling in this game. At least I assume it would be. But man, they pulled it off excellent. I mean, they pretty much use that at every level. And it kind of reminds me a lot of the 8-bit or 16-bit games that they're kind of like doing like game remakes of today. And the way that they're using the parallax scrolling today. I mean, this game did it all those years ago and it looks awesome. So props to the developers for doing this because, man, this game looks great. And I think the last thing that I want to talk about is the difficulty in this game. Now, again, you know, like a lot of shooters, you're probably going to want to start on easy. You know, I certainly did because, you know, shooters are hard, you know, especially shooters from back in the day, old school shooters. They're hard. They're very difficult. You know, you play a game like Sky Shark, you're going to get your ass handed to you. But this game, I do believe, has just the right amount of difficulty. You can set it on easy. You can pretty much make your way through the game. Or if you have a Game Genie or you have an original cart of Gley Lancer, you can use that Game Genie. You can use it on a repro, and there's actually a code in there for invincibility or infinite lives if you choose to go that route. You know, if you just want to play the game, hear all the music, and get through the whole game, you know, by all means, get a Game Genie, throw Gley Lancer in there, and you'll get to see and experience the entire game before you really jump into it and get your ass handed to you. But overall, the difficulty is just right. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, and it stays challenging for, you know, a semi-experienced gamer like myself. So honestly, there's not too many bad things I can say about this game other than the fact that it's hard to get and it's expensive as hell. Those are my 2 gripes about the game. Hard to get, cost a lot of money. Other than that, gameplay excellent, soundtrack excellent. You know, everything about the game I consider to be excellent. You know, it is a real shame that this game was never released in North America, but I do believe at the time this game was released, there were so many different shooters that came out on so many different systems that it probably would have been overshadowed by, you know, games like R-Type and Gradius and things like that. But guys, I can't recommend this game enough. Get yourself a copy of it. However you want to get it, just get it, because you won't regret it. Trust me. Buy Gley Lancer. It is fucking awesome. So, you guys copping or what? You know, this is an awesome, awesome shooter. I can't say it enough. I highly recommend it. And however you want to get it, buy a repro, download it, get a ROM. I recommend the repro because you can play it on original hardware. At least the one I got, you can. And, you know, this is an excellent, excellent game. Or you can buy the original and I can be jealous of you. However you want to do it. You should get this game if you like shooters. If you like shooters and you own a Genesis and you don't have this game, Shame on you. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, peace out.